Have you noticed? The internet, it feels a little different lately. It's quieter. For years, the web had this rhythm, this sound that we all just instinctively knew, the click. That little sound was everything. It was choice, it was a purchase, it was action. But that sound, it's fading. Those bustling digital marketplaces we used to wander through, they're starting to feel like ghost towns. Something big has changed right under our noses.
I mean, think about that whole ritual, right? You'd open a browser, you'd search for something, scroll through a bunch of pages, and then finally, you'd click buy. That whole journey is just vanishing. And this isn't some minor update, it's a total replacement. The entire shopping process has been pulled into a hidden layer, a place that we humans aren't really meant to see. So what could possibly replace the click? Well, the answer lies in this new, fundamental piece of internet architecture that was launched pretty quietly while we were all looking at other things. It's called the Universal Commerce Protocol, or UCP for short, and it has completely rewritten the rules of the game for online trade. The best way to think about the UCP is like this. It's basically the HTTPS, but for shopping. You know how HTTPS makes browsing secure? Well, UCP does that for transactions. It's a secure, standardized language. But here's the catch. It's not for us. It is a layer of the internet built from the ground up, exclusively for our AI agents to talk directly with businesses' AI agents. It is the invisible backbone for a whole new machine-to-machine economy. And you know, this wasn't some slow, gradual evolution. It was a hard cut, a singular event. Before January 2026, we were all on what you could call the destination web. We had to go to websites to get things done. But after the UCP went live, and this was a huge partnership between giants like Google, Shopify, and Walmart, our agents just started doing it for us, negotiating on our behalf, completely in the background. And the result of all this is something we're calling zero-click commerce. That traditional shopping funnel that marketers have obsessed over for decades, awareness, consideration, purchase, it hasn't just been flattened, it's been bypassed entirely. And if your brand isn't on this new invisible shelf, then to the machines that now control the purchasing power, you might as well not exist. So how does this whole protocol-driven world actually work? To really get it, you've got to understand the 4 key players in this new ecosystem. And researchers are calling them the 4 invisible actors. This isn't about websites anymore. It's a totally self-contained closed loop. Okay, so first you've got the platforms. Think Gemini or Copilot. They're your agent, your representative. Second, you have the businesses, but they're not really stores anymore. They're UCP-compliant data nodes. They've essentially swapped their flashy websites for a clean, machine-readable catalog. And then the third and fourth actors, the credential provider and the payment service provider. They just handle the trust, the identity, and the money, all of it happening in milliseconds. This is just a monumental shift in strategy. For years, brands have poured millions into catching your eye with SEO, search engine optimization. Well, now they're practicing AEO, answer engine optimization. The goal is no longer to be the most attractive result for a human, it's to be the most perfect, verifiable answer for an AI agent's query. So what does this AOS stuff actually look like? It's not a clever ad. It's not a viral video. It's this, a precisely structured JSON file, a manifest, tucked away at a specific standardized web address. This file, this is the new storefront. It lists inventory, pricing, shipping, all of it, in a language that only machines can read and trust perfectly. You see, this change isn't just about technology. It's deeper than that. It's philosophical. It marks this fundamental shift in what commerce even is, from an economy that was built on persuading people to an economy that's built on verifiable facts. And you can see the divide so clearly right here. The old web, it was all about persuading us humans with beautiful designs and catchy slogans. But this new UCP layer, it couldn't care less about that. It's all about giving machines verifiable proof, structured data, cryptographic signatures. It's a world of facts, not feelings. And this is the absolute key to understanding everything. When your AI agent is shopping for you, a clever marketing slogan is completely and totally useless. If a brand claims its coffee is sustainably sourced, your agent doesn't care about the pretty words on the bag. It looks for a verifiable, cryptographically signed attribute in that data manifest. And if it can't find it, it's not buying it. Simple as that. And make no mistake, this isn't some far-off future we're talking about. This takeover is happening at an absolutely incredible speed. Researchers have clocked a 1,300% surge in this agentic commerce traffic in just the last month alone. The invisible shelf is very quickly becoming the only shelf that matters. And it gets even more complex, more invisible. We're already seeing agent-to-agent negotiations, where your AI haggles for a better deal with the store's AI, and then there's this, merchant-to-merchant commerce, which is just wild. Say you order something, but the store's out of stock. You don't get an error message. Instead, their agent silently finds a competitor who has it, buys it from them wholesale, and fulfills your order. You never even know there was a problem. So if you put all of this together, it leads to a pretty profound and honestly kind of unsettling conclusion. We are witnessing the end of the destination web, the internet that we all grew up with. Commerce is just becoming a background process, an ambient utility that's just handled by our agents. Which, of course, begs the question, what happens to all of them? What happens to all those websites? The millions of digital storefronts that we spent decades building and browsing and getting to know? Where do they fit in this new invisible world? The thing is, the URLs still work. The sites are technically still there. But they're becoming like digital ruins, these beautiful, elaborate monuments to a civilization that's already moved on. Because the real trade, the real action, the real power, it's all moved off the page and deep into the protocol. The history of the future is being written in code, and the click, well, the click is its latest ghost.